Can you share, or do you know why that game was canceled by Microsoft? When again, like, you'd think for launch they'd want to have this out there. Is it just I mean, I know every company, even Microsoft, has budgets, you know, because they were funding Dead Rising 3 at that point. They had Rise going on, plus their first party stuff like Forza 5. Was it just hey, we're not quite sure about this thing yet, so we only have so much money, so let's pick this? But I guess help me understand why Microsoft can't.
Ultimately, I can't tell you. I think that often it comes down to budget, right? It comes down to budget, and it comes down to having a champion, right? Because I can see games that had champions and weren't canceled until $80 million were spent. I can see there's games that had a $10 million budget and had a champion and ended up the budget was $60 million and it shipped. And so in the end, I think the challenge is there has to be someone, when you're talking about big budget stuff, there has to be someone at the publisher or Sony or Microsoft, I guess they're publishers too, but is that if that champion isn't there, and there's not the person to just say, look, no, it's going to be good, and yeah, it's not where it is right now, and yes, we're maybe going to spend another $20 million on it, and you know, and it's going to sound horrible, and you know what, everybody just suck it, you know, I mean, not of course that should ever be said that way, but there has to be someone with that attitude and the ability to defend the game. I'll even go back all the way back to Baldur's Gate, you know, and so the position I was in. Baldur's Gate was, we all thought it was awesome, right? And it's doing really well. And the sales forecast came back from Europe. And sales forecasts are attached to how much it's going to be marketed in PR. So the sales forecast from our European office came back 0. They were going to sell it. D&D is meaningless now. We don't believe in RPGs. And so and that actually then impacted how the American sales force was thinking about it. And so I think Baldur's Gate would have been successful anyway, but no matter, I think for a game to truly be big, it often has to be pushed, and it has to have ads and PR and all this other kind of stuff. And I remember I went to Brian, I said, Brian, because he's busy and you know, Interplay was going public and there's just all this kind of stuff, and I just grabbed his time and I said, you have to help me push this game. We're gonna have there's gonna be a huge sales meeting in a couple weeks. Where this is where Interplay would bring in all the sales reps like Best Buy and all this kind of stuff and do a weekend. Please get up in front of everybody and say this is going to be amazing. You need to sell. They're not listening to me. And so he did. He went up there and he sold it. And the sales forecasts went up. And it got more PR and it got more marketing dollars. And again, BG would have been successful anyway, but you know, and it sounds like I'm maybe patting myself on the back, but I'm just using it as an example of when you don't, that's when you don't have that. So ultimately the answer to your question, why did Stormlands get canceled? Stormlands got canceled because we didn't have an advocate.
So that brand new executive producer didn't have Phil Spencer's ear, who was running studios at the time, to really fight for the game.
That is my best guess. Is that, and it just yeah.